Okay, thank you. Thank you. Hi, everybody. How are you? Nice seeing you. We continue today to speak about laws of Shabbat, and today we speak about Melechet Borer. Borer means to select. Let's start with something funny. There was this guy that got into a restaurant, and he ordered chicken. Okay, he wanted the roasted chicken. He asks the waiter. After a while, he calls him. He tells him he complains about the chicken. He says, "This chicken is old." He says, "What do you mean the chicken is old? How do you know the chicken is old?" "From the teeth." "The teeth? Does the chicken have teeth?" No. He says, "The chicken doesn't have, but I do." When people want to eat something or don't want to eat something, so at the time of the Mishkan, what was the problem of selecting, of Melechet Borer? What was the problem? So they used to have the wheat and the crops and whatever grows, the grains, okay? And they had to select it from, stones and dirt and sand and all kind of parts over there. So either you do it with sifters or with all kind of other utensils, right? This was one step before, starting doing the dough, the working with the grain, smashing it, cutting it, chopping it, grinding it, whatever. So this is what we're learning today. What's not allowed in this law, okay, Melechet Borer, from the Torah? So a lot of people, they don't realize, they don't know that there's details and they have to pay attention. And from the Torah, there are three main things that are not allowed. And from there, the opposite will be allowed. So three main things that are not allowed is to select. You have food together with dirt, with waste, with something that is not important to you. You have nuts with some peels. You have fruits with peels. You have all kind of stuff. And if you remove the peels, the shells, okay, the leftovers, the waste, the garbage. If you remove these to eat the thing that you want to eat, the nuts, the fruits, or whatever, it's not good. It's not okay. Okay. Number one. Number two, if you do it with a certain utensil, like you take a sifter, what's the purpose of sifting?
To separate out
the bad from the good, right? If we do it with a utensil, so it's not good. And number three, if you want to, let's say you're preparing for guests, so as I peeled here, let's say some oranges and this kiwi and some other fruits, whatever is here, okay, you're doing it for, in 2 hours somebody is going to come, so you're preparing all these things in advance. This is not allowed to prepare in advance, okay? So what is okay? The opposite. If you select the food from the waste, and of course, and it's all in condition that you're planning to eat it right away. If you do it with your hands, okay, you could do it with a fork, with a spoon, because these are not designated. There's not tools that for sifting, for separating, right? And of course, if you do it for eating it right away. In these conditions, it's okay to select. And now let's go slowly with the details. Let's say you have 2 types of food. You're allowed to. So what you're selecting to eat, that's called for you food, even though both of them are food. Let's say you have a plate, that in that plate you have chocolates and candies. Both are food. It's not that it has to be shells and nuts or peels and fruits, right? It could be both food, but you want to eat, let's say, the candy. So you pick up the candy. You don't remove the chocolate. You pick up the candy, whatever you want to eat. So you could do it for yourself if you eat it right away. Also, you could do it for others. Let's say your kids, they want to eat from this too, and you decided that the chocolate is more, let's say, healthy for them than the candy. So you're allowed to select for them their food, because this is their food, okay? The chocolate for them, even though you don't do it for yourself, you can do it for them if they eat it right away, okay? So this is two types of food, and whatever we're talking is always when it's in a mixture. So it's going to make it easier. When we select, it's usually from a mixture. Well, we are not sure you want what do you want to eat and how you want to do it. Let's say you have vegetable salad, and you don't like to eat onions. You're allergic to onions or something. You don't like the onions. You cannot pick up these pieces of onions. This is for you. It's psolet. It's waste. Okay? This is not what you do. You pick up whatever you like. You leave the pieces of onions in the plate. But let's say your son, he does like the onions. He's looking for it. So you're allowed, even though it's not for yourself, you're allowed to pick up, select, choose these onions and give it to him, and he's going to eat it right away. This is fine. Okay, so for him it's ochel, it's the food.
So
Even though for
wasting,
you,
it's not allowed.
for wasting, huh?
So only for wasting, it's
If
not
it's
allowed.
for wasting, it's not allowed. But if he eats it right away, it's fine.
It's better if he takes it.
Of course, it's better that he takes it, but you can prepare it for him too. It's allowed to select. If somebody has an animal at home, let's say, I don't know. Let's say you have a dog at home. So it's allowed to select for them to eat something that for you it's a waste. Let's say a bone. For you, you won't eat the bone, but you want to select the bones for him. So for the dog, so that the dog is going to eat it right away. It's allowed to give him these bones. Animal eat the unwanted food of a person, so the food is good for them, so it's okay. It's not a waste for them, so you're allowed to give it to an animal. Okay. Mazahu le'altar. What is it to eat it right away? What does it mean to eat right away? To eat right away, most of the poskim say within half an hour. Meaning, if your husband went to shul at 8 o'clock and he is about to come at 11, okay? So after 10:30, okay, you're allowed to start. Starting preparing. If let's say if he likes the some people, they like the bukhais, they like when the eggs are hot, when they peel it themselves and they eat it hot. But if he wants, from some reason, that you're going to peel it before and it's going to be ready before, so closer to the time that he comes, you're allowed to take it out from the blech and start peeling them for him to get ready.
So if we're waiting for somebody, you're not allowed?
No, waiting and not knowing when they're coming, you cannot really do it. Unless it's going to take you some time. But still, as close as you come, if you know already that he left shul and he's about to come soon, so this is when you can start doing it. But you don't do it, 10 o'clock or 9 o'clock just because now you have time, later you won't have the time. This we are not allowed to do. This is a violation from the Torah. So with this we have to be careful. Okay.
Even the salads, right? Like a fresh salad, if I want to make.
Okay.
For example, it comes 12, so I have to do it like 11ish.
11:30, after 11:30. As closer to...
Why?
With doing salad, we're going to learn it Bezat Hashem next time, is something that's called grinding. We're not allowed to cut small pieces. We're going to learn. So if you do a salad also, as closer to the time that you're supposed to eat.
Why?
Not so much in advance. This is how it is.
What about...
L'altar, quickly. On the spot, you're going to eat it right away.
What about if I give a cucumber, tomato, and I tell a Goya to cut it for me? Am I allowed?
But there's nothing wrong with cutting it. It's the separating that's the issue. Like if
Cutting-
you're cutting a whole,
Cutting is okay, not too small pieces.
Right.
This is what we're going to speak next time. Cutting is not a problem. Selecting, peeling all these fruits and vegetables, whatever you need in advance, this is not good in advance. As closer to the food, the better it is. About talking to a goy to tell her what's allowed, there's a whole section what to tell. We're going to learn it separately with Hashem. So as I said before, selecting doesn't have to be with your bare hands, could be with a spoon or a fork, even though they are utensils, but they're not designated for selecting. It's for food. You don't want to get dirty, so it's allowed to do it with food or fork or but not strainers and not sifters and stuff like that. Yeah, when you want to prepare, don't for guests, don't prepare too much. Don't peel too much. For us, Sephardi people, we like the table to look full for guests. So we prepare and prepare and prepare, and we want you peel and you cut and you do. The rabbi says not to do too much for guests when you know that they are not going to eat, okay? Or just in case if more guests are going to come, you cannot peel too much fruits that are not needed. If somebody comes right away, sure, no problem. You're going to cut, you're going to peel, you're going to do whatever needed, but not too much in advance. Now, if you started peeling and you thought you're going to eat, 2 apples, let's say, and you peel the apples to eat, but then you ate just one, and you cannot eat more, so it's fine. You can leave it for somebody else to eat or later to eat. You don't have to force yourself because of that. But merosh, from lechatchila, in advance, you don't prepare too many, just because it's not allowed. So a person cannot start peeling and preparing, okay, and selecting stuff for this meal and just in case for another meal. This you don't do, just for one meal, not for 2 meals or more, okay? This is not. Okay, even though a person is selecting food from food, we're not talking food and waste, we're talking food, 2 types of food that are together. Okay, you have all kind of nuts together. You have different types of fish. Let's say there's fish that you cooked, and there's fish that you baked, and there's fish that you, some other, or different types. You have salmon, you have carp, you have maybe tilapia or some other kinds, okay? We're talking about different types of food. So you're taking whatever you want. You don't touch the things that you don't want. Selecting doesn't mean all kind of sizes. If it's one type of food, like fish, for example, but if, let's say, for your own family, you put a plate of fish that you prepared, okay? There's all kind of sizes of fish, and everybody takes whatever they want. One wants a bigger piece, they'll take a bigger piece. One wants a smaller piece, they'll take a smaller piece. So you put all kind of whatever you have on the fish and on the plate, everybody's going to take whatever they want. But if all of a sudden you have guests coming, very important guests coming, or older people and whatever, and you need just bigger pieces for them, it's not appropriate, it's not honorable to give them, small pieces. You cannot decide, this is small, no, I don't want it. This is small, no. You cannot take the small pieces and put them aside. You select just the big pieces and put them, don't touch the smaller pieces, okay? This is selecting on Shabbat. So with this, we have to be careful. A bowl that has a lot of fruit inside, all kind of fruit inside. And let's say you picked up a grape and you see that it's rotten, it's not so good. You can put it aside back because you don't have to eat it just because you took it. Because if you see that it's not good, it's rotten, you don't have to eat it. But you're not going to start you have a bunch of, you have a cluster, you have of grapes, you're not going to say, okay, I have 2, 3, 5 that are not good here, you're going to remove them because it's not nice that it's on the table. This you cannot do. Also, let's say you started to eat an apple, let's say, okay, and you saw that there's a piece in the apple, a place in the apple that it's rotten or it's not, it's brownish, you don't like to eat that. You can take that piece out with some of the meat of the apple, of the fruit.
The good part.
With some of the good part, not only the bad part, with the good part. This is how you can take it away. Okay. All types of, let's say, you have big chunks, pieces of meat, let's say, okay? Some are cooked, some are fried, some are roasted. These are called different types. Or you have different parts of the chicken. Let's say you like to eat the leg or the breast or whatever you like. You decide, so you select whatever you want. You don't touch the pieces that you don't like. You have, let's say, in one plate, you have, in one bowl, you have 2 types of, or more types of apples even. Let's say you have sour apples, the green one, and you have the red ones, you have the yellow, the delicious ones, you have all types of okay, this is also called selecting. You take only the things that you want. You don't touch the things that you don't want. So now you're allowed to, let's say you want to, now let's start talking about peeling. You want to peel garlic for food. You cannot mince it on Shabbat, but let's say you wanted to eat garlic, or you want to peel onion, right? You're allowed to peel them with your hand, or even with a knife. It's fine, as long as you eat it right away, for the food, for the meal. And but you cannot peel them and leave them for another meal, for now. So would be with any fruits that have peels. Nuts and almonds and oranges and grapefruits, right? All these fruits that have a peel in there, you can peel them in order to eat them right away. Okay. Oh, something interesting. He says apples. He says apples, people can eat it with a peel. So if usually nowadays we remove the peel, but if people insist and they want to eat it with a peel, so because because people can eat it with a peel, he says, so you can remove the peel from before. And there's another thing here. People don't like when the apple stays for a while. It gets darker, right? And people don't like to eat it. And so but it's okay. It's easier than other things. Also, he says usually. All kind of other fruits and vegetables that people can eat them with the peel, like pear, like carrot, like cucumber, right? All these things that you can eat them with a peel. So you're allowed to use a special peeler for that. Usually we don't use vegetable peeler on Shabbat, because it's a special dish, a special utensil for that. We don't use it on Shabbat. If you need to peel cucumber, you do it with a knife. So, but this type of thing, it's okay. But if somebody wants to make a restriction on that and to make a chumrah on this, it's better. It says so. Okay. You cannot. Okay, this is something else. Vegetables that have some rotten or not so nice. Let's say you have in a plate, you have lettuce, big leaves of lettuce, and on top are the not nice ones. Underneath are the nice ones. So you can remove the not nice ones because this is the only way to get into the things that you want to eat. This you can do. If it's in a branch, in a stem together, today here we don't really eat it like that because you really have to watch for bugs and worms and stuff like that. So you have to separate, the from before and clean that from before. But let's say in Israel you have gush katif fruit vegetables that are already they grown it in a special way and it's clean and everything, and it's few are them are connected together. One is not good, you're allowed to remove that one to get to the other ones because there's no other way to get there. So this is fine. Whoever eats a fish or meat that has bones in there, you're allowed to remove the bones just before you eat, because you do it just before eating. That's not a problem.
With a fork?
With a fork, with your hands, with your teeth, with whatever you want. It's fine.
But
Bones,
you should leave it on your plate, right?
yeah, leave it on your bones that were separated already by themselves from the fish. Okay, you don't touch them. You just leave them in one side of your plate, and it's fine. But the other ones, you don't have to. Basically, you don't have to put it in your mouth and then to spit it out. There's the only way you don't want people to choke on them or something. So you're allowed to remove this before you eat. You're allowed to detach some of the feathers that were not plucked from before it's cooked. Sometimes in the wing there's some pieces that were not taken all the way. This you're allowed to take on Shabbat in order to eat it. You also don't have to separate. You're allowed to remove, let's say, the skin from the chicken. That's fine because it's part of the chicken. Fruits that have in them a pit, the seed inside. So you're allowed to like dates, like apricots, like pomegranate. No, we're talking about pomegranates. You're allowed to open and start eating. The seeds of the pomegranate you're eating. We're talking about seeds like date inside. There's a pit. You don't eat that. Or peach. There's a big thing inside. You don't eat them. So you're allowed to remove them and eat it right away. It's not a problem. If it's a different thing, let's say you have big grapes that inside there's a lot of little seeds. This says you don't start to take them one by one out because it's like selecting. He says put it in your mouth and then you can take it out from your mouth. Small seeds like that, but big seeds is not a problem. Watermelon seeds, okay? If it's inside the watermelon, you don't have to. You can take the piece of the watermelon and shake it off a bit. Whatever fell. Whatever didn't fall, you can remove it, okay, and put it in your mouth. If you have a melon inside is some kind of a liquid with a lot of seeds. This you cannot eat without removing in advance. So this you can remove in advance. Just before you're supposed to eat, and then you can eat it, no problem. You're allowed to crack peanuts on Shabbat and to eat it right away. It's with a shell. Or pistachios, open and eat, no problem, because there's no other way to eat that. And now, let's say you squeezed a lemon and some bits fell into the salad. So you cannot just pick up the seeds, because it's not allowed. This is removing the solid, the waste from the food, right? So with the food, with some of the salad, with some of the tomatoes or whatever is there, so remove it. This is fine. A yolk and separate. The egg has two parts: the yolk and the white part, right? Some people eat it all together and they're fine with it. Some people don't like the yolk. Some people don't like the white. So. Some rabbis say it's two different things. Some rabbis say it's one thing, so it's not a problem even selecting. But you take basically what you like. Let's say you want to eat the yolk, so you take the yolk with a spoon, and leave the white part, or the opposite. And if you take some of the yolk and some stays, it's even better. You're not really selecting, so it's fine. You're allowed to wash fruits and vegetables from all kind of dirt and sand. It says that
Can we put vinegar or salt in that?
this is a problem. You put vinegar and salt to kill bugs. This is a problem on Shabbat. This type of cleaning you have to do before Shabbat. Let's say you want to clean grapes. You want to clean strawberries if you eat strawberries. If you want to eat... so this to put in or salt or soap or some other stuff, right? This you have to do in advance. If you do it just for sake of cleaning, it's okay, you're allowed to do it. But if it's for sake of killing the bugs, that's a problem because you cannot kill bugs on it. But this you have to clean in advance.
That's the problem.
Yeah. What?
Because you go to somebody's house,
Right.
their religion, they say you're allowed. And then
What are you allowed?
on Shabbat to do this.
You're allowed to clean
With the vinegar and the
fruits.
salt.
So I'm saying, if the purpose is to kill, why they put vinegar?
Sometimes they put vinegar to clean it.
No, the lettuce. Alfiosh.
Like soap. Does soap kill the bug or just makes it slide off? I don't know
I
if
think it slides off. It's easier to
Soap,
slide.
man, the
the
soap.
soap.
I'm saying, so the soap, like if you may be doing soap, maybe it's okay, but salt not.
Well, but do it chasa on Shabbat. It's so hard.
Yeah.
And what if you see a bug?
I know.
Then you have to.
That's right, then what, can you throw it away? It's bad, what do you do?
On Yom Tov, you allowed salt and vinegar? Yom Tov.
I think.
I don't know if it's allowed because killing bugs it's a problem on Yom Tov
Yeah.
too. So all this you'd have to do. There's so much work to do before holidays. It's unbelievable, especially if you deal with greens. Whoa. Yes.
Which greens do you use for bach?
Hmm?
Which greens do you use for bach?
So if I decide to do baksh and I do it only once a year or something,
Oh,
if I
really?
decide, because it's a lot of work, it takes me
It takes
hours
me
to
2
prepare.
hours to wash
To
alfiosh.
prepare. So
Thursday.
if you want to do it, so
Every Shabbat
just
we
take in mind, in the beginning of the week maybe to start looking for it and cleaning it, and
I freeze it now. I wash it on Mondays,
sure.
Tuesdays. Takes me one by one to wash. Then freeze it because it's very long time takes.
Right.
Even the dills.
The dills and all the greens, all the greens.
Yeah, they freeze very well.
Yeah. I dry them good, like
Okay,
very
good,
well.
no?
Yeah.
then
Comes
you
out
chop
the
it.
same box.
Yeah, no,
Yeah.
it's good. It's good. What happens if a fly, fell into a cup of tea or wine or water? Okay. So water you don't mind to spill, but if it's a wine, so
You
they
don't mind
say.
to spill it too?
With a
Huh?
spoon?
So yeah, you can take some with the wine itself and spill it. So then you don't take just the fly.
My kids see that they're gonna throw the whole wine with the cup
So,
away.
no problem.
Spoiled.
Yeah, so this is regarding this. What happens if you have some milk that was cooked before Shabbat
Okay.
and you have some kind of cream on top now? And
I was gonna say,
yeah,
come on. It's the
and you want to get to the milk, and you want to remove it. So you're allowed to take some with a spoon,
wow.
and so you were able to drink.
Like, it's almost a waste. You can find somebody who wants it.
I'll give it to elders. They like it. A tea kettle, a teapot that has this nose, and in the
Okay.
nose
Tea.
there's some holes to make sure that the tea
the
stays
leaves don't come
inside.
out.
It's okay. You can pour from this. It's not cold. The selecting. It's fine. It's a lot. Okay, some people they put in their salt shaker they put some rice in order for if it's
Humidity.
moist or something, so they shouldn't stuck to each other. So if you have such a thing, you're allowed to use salt shaker, even though it has it's not called selecting.
It's humid, so maybe
It's not a problem. A strainer that you have in, let's say you throw garbage into your, not garbage, but you clean some of your plates, and there's a lot of waste and dirt and whatever. So if you spill it into your sink, there's liquids and there's the solid stuff. So the liquids, they'll go down the drain because there's this kind of strainer there. And then, the solid stays. What to do? Is it okay? Is it called selecting? It's fine. They say it's not a problem because all of this is a waste, not only the water or whatever. So it's not called selecting, and it's not a problem. It's fine. Let's see what else I didn't mention here.
Clothes.
Clothes is soon. We'll first talk about food.
Are
Yes.
we allowed to, for example, I don't want the salads already, like Shabbat time. I don't want already salad, to leave them, to save them.
You don't want to save them?
Yeah, I just want to throw. Am I allowed to do that? Like, that's it, I don't need it anymore.
So, okay, if you leave them in their boxes and then you're going to take care of this after Shabbat, it's the best. Why? Because some salads have liquids. And you don't want to throw everything with the liquids into the garbage. So you start selecting, you tilt it or this or that, you take it with a spoon, with this, with that, and you don't want this. So if you leave it in the boxes and then later on you're going to throw and take care of this, it's better.
After Shabbat.
What about when I make, let's say before Shabbat, I make Israeli salad,
Israeli salad.
and then it gives a lot of fluids. So before the leftovers, when I put it back in the fridge, I spill the water of it. It's called separation.
So whatever, usually what we're allowed to do is to select the good, not the bad. For example.
So I can take it with the spoon and just put it in a separate container.
Yeah, right. So you take you take the salad. That's a question that I asked before the rabbi, because I saw in a play in one of the books that. So let's explain it. Let's say you have.
What's the question?
Okay. Let's say you have food. You have soup. And you don't want the liquid. You just want the vegetables. Are you allowed to use this cup, this big cup that has holes in it? How you call it?
No.
Huh? So if you want just the vegetables, okay, you're selecting the good. It's fine. But you use it not only because you want to select, you use it because sometimes that's the only thing that's available, that's the only thing that's clean or whatever. If it has some, you don't do it in a way that 100% is going to get so dry, these vegetables, that no liquid is going to stay there. So, but you select the good, not the bad. If you, let's say, you have wine. Sometimes people, they do wine themselves, or there's a wine that stays for a while and it has some the shmarim, how you call it, the yeast underneath. How you call it?
It's called the mother. That's the actual word for it, mother. It's the little pieces on the bottom.
Right.
That's what it, yeah.
So you don't want to drink it with that. So what you do is you tilt it slowly, and make sure that the wine comes out into the cup, and this is left in the bottle. This is good because you select the good from the bad. Okay, so it would be, let's say, if you want the liquid, or you want, so you're allowed to select the thing that you want. Okay. Now, if you said that you don't want the liquid inside your salad, so you remove whatever you want. So,
But somebody said with Rosh Hashanah you cannot have a
Slotted
spatula
spoon.
with the hole.
Right, the slotted.
okay.
So I always it has holes, so I take it with the holes. It's not allowed.
So again, if this is the only thing that you have at home, or this is the what's
you're
available,
allowed then.
so you're allowed, because what you do is you select the rice, the food, the cholent, or whatever it is.
So I'm allowed.
You're taking this. If you like to do it with the fluid, so you take it with something else, or whatever, it doesn't matter. The idea is like that. If you don't want the fluid, okay, you cannot select this and remove it from your pot. You take whatever you want. So it doesn't matter how exactly you take it.
So So it doesn't matter if my thing has holes.
It doesn't matter if you have holes.
If you're gonna use the
if
fluid,
Yeah.
no.
If I use both, I don't care.
so you don't mind. So you can use it if you don't mind.
Because one time, I'll tell you, it was interesting. One time I was talking to a mashgiach and he said that he did a job on Shabbos and he was complaining because they were using slotted spoons for the salad, and according to the VADs, this is not
It's
allowed.
not good.
Because then the liquid comes out and you're separating, you know. But it seems to be like what you're saying. You taking what you want and leaving what you don't want. Why is this a problem? Is that an
But again,
Ashkenazi thing? Is
so
this
I
for
saw, I
Sfardim?
told you, I saw some rabbis that don't allow it, but I asked the rabbi, he said it's fine.
What about גרעינים? אפשר לאכול בשבת?
גרעינים אפשר לאכול בשבת. Okay, she's speaking about the sunflower seeds, right? Sunflower seeds, you're allowed to remove the peel and eat that, no problem. You can do it also. You can. Some people they like to eat the sunflower seeds all in one shot, not to clean one by one.
My daughter.
So, but if you do it only to eat it in advance, and only for a certain size that you're going to eat, not too many, not too more, and not to give it to leave it for later, right? If you do it right away on the spot and you eat it, it's fine.
Can I ask you a
But-
question? Okay.
But when we eat the sunflower seeds, my husband, we make sure that everybody's plate has one sunflower seed, the whole.
Right.
Is
So
that-
this already is going to be different laws. Bezrat Hashem, we're going to learn laws of muktzeh, and we're going to learn מה זה בסיס לדבר אסור, מה זה בסיס לדבר מותר. We're going to learn it later.
Can I
Bezrat
ask you a
Hashem.
question?
Yeah.
If I have pomegranates, right? And we take it, and we have, and one person takes everything out, each each
Seed.
seed.
Okay.
He takes out, and they make a big. Is it allowed?
If you're eating right away, it's okay.
Right.
Yeah.
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 If you're eating right
And I have a
away.
question. Can you wash an egg? Not because of hot, to get off shells
you
in
can,
case there's...
Dirt or
Dirt
if it's
for
cooked
dirt?
in children.
Like, let's say, like, you know, you peel the egg and it looks like there's still little pieces. Like, can you wash it to get the shell off? That's okay?
Yeah. Why not?
What about if you cook the egg inside the children or the oatmeal? Can you wash that egg?
To be
you'll
easy
have
to cleaner peel?
Yes,
So you're not
to
gonna-
Peel
Huh?
to make it clean.